Hi, welcome. My name is Angelina, and today I wanted to talk about the battle of Ateez's title tracks. Because that's the fun of pitting two songs against each other before the keyword 18 warriors come for me again. Don't think I forgot about last time.
땡땡 코코투.
Okay, so as we all know by now, Deja Vu, it feels weird to pronounce it that way. I feel like no matter how I pronounce it, someone's going to be pretentious in the comments. I'm pretentious if I pronounce it the way I want to pronounce it. You're pretentious if you correct me on it. There's no winning. We have the song Deja Vu, who won over Eternal Sunshine. Now, I knew from the first set of voting, even though I wasn't able to vote because I couldn't make an account, that this song would win. But I digress. Today, we will talk about both title tracks and my initial apprehension towards them as title tracks. Of course, little disclaimer, I love Ateez, they are my alt group, but this is indeed a review, which means I'm going to talk about things that I liked and things that I didn't like as well. But also, if I go missing... First, with Deja Vu, we start the music video off with all members on top of a building with lightning in the background. It's very dark, it's very dramatic, and it's also with this scene that we close the music video itself. Before it ultimately ends with Yeolsan caressing a chromer that eventually breaks as we see two hands touching. And yes, I finally do know what a chromer is, thank you. But back to the start, we're at the top of this building, the initial scene, which then pans downwards into SM's dungeon, where we see 7 members doing the choreography instead of 8. So this isn't the first time that we've had a member sit out, right? We've had Mingi, who wasn't in the music video for Fireworks, and we also had Jungkook again, who wasn't in the teaser performances for Thanks or Inception. But it really made me wonder, especially in the case of a music video where a member won't be on a long hiatus, why they couldn't have postponed filming or at least put less emphasis on the choreography for this music video. At the very least, if it's something that they couldn't have avoided, if they really couldn't have postponed it, why not cut to him at least when we hear his voice? Like, I'm hearing Jongho, but I'm seeing Wooyoung in the center, and there are just some things not really adding up. I can't speak for everyone, but I personally wouldn't have minded waiting a little bit longer, especially when it comes to injuries or emotional distress or whatever the case may be, just to be able to have every member present and to be able to look back on this music video and see him in the choreography. But then again, I know nothing of the logistics of all of this, so let's move on. Regardless of all of this, it does feel like a lot of music videos these days are indeed glorified dance practices, with very to little no storyline whatsoever. So though Ateez does seem to pride themselves on having music videos connect and, having very important storylines that confuse the hell out of me at least, the music video does still put a lot of emphasis on choreography still. We don't really see much of anything else. We see Wooyoung with a random flower, a random drone, some interesting transition, and of course cars. But I guess Ponytail Songhwa does kind of make up for it. I'm willing to look past it. That being said, I do absolutely love the killing point of this choreography, which is of course the hip move. Now, I know some people are going to be like, it's the hip thrusting, what do you mean? But controversial take, frankly, those are outdated and belong back in 2013. The boy group stands are livid. But I did want to point out this hip move in particular because it was really a breath of fresh air amongst all the thrusting in general. Very soft and very beautiful within this choreography that had otherwise a very much, second gen fall to your knees, dramatic dancing in the rain type vibes. So it was nice to see it just take a second to stop and slow down and take in what you're really seeing against these harsher elements. And maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I was really happy to see Yuna in front and center. He did this part so much justice. I think it was an amazing choice. And ultimately just the perfect killing point in my opinion. Now, I did find this move in particular a little bit awkward, but hey. We also have this Usan moment where Wooyoung just yeets Sun to the side. I thought that was really funny. But otherwise, again, if I had to describe this choreography, I think it's very, dramatic, shall we say. And matches the song perfectly, which we're going to get into right now. But first, a little preface. So to be honest, when I first heard the 2 snippets of both songs, both title tracks, I felt like this really didn't sound like Ateez at all. There was this specific Ateez, experimental element that was kind of missing. So that's kind of where I was feeling a little bit conflicted because it almost sounded like different group songs. Don't get me wrong, I love Deja Vu. I love the song, I'll be honest, but I'm not really sure how I would genuinely feel about it if it wasn't from Ateez. The chorus is very catchy and evokes this sense of neediness, and the da 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 part really gets stuck in your head, but as a song, I really wasn't expecting them to go in this direction. Again, there was just something that I felt was a little bit missing, like that very specific Ateez element. Nevertheless, it did give me very much second gen vibes in both the music video, the styling to an extent, but particularly the concept itself. as a whole. The lyrics that speak about drowning or thirsting for someone, the neediness as mentioned before, and of course the dramatic dancing in the rain. So I guess it's like a modern version of the modern second gen take of Inception, if that makes sense, because Inception again was another song that I felt was very second gen inspired. So Deja Vu takes that same concept but modernizes it even more, because I feel like we're seeing very popular elements like this kind of car theme, this racer theme, so it seems to be quite trendy as well. Eternal Sunshine, on the other hand, I have a lot to say. The question is how to say this in a very digestible way. Eternal Sunshine by Ateez is to me what Kill This Love is to Me Too. What? No. It's the Kill This Love of 2021. I'm sorry. To me in particular, very subjectively, where a group I love releases a song that I'm really not the most fond of. I was just even more conflicted about this song in particular because I love Deja Vu. Deja Vu, Deja Vu. You know, it started off sounding really nice and fluffy, and I was like, wow, you know, this is going in a direction that I think I really like. But then when the chorus hit, it really wasn't my cup of tea. It ended up reminding me a bit of maybe like an EXO song or something. Again, something that was not very reminiscent of an Ateez song. And I was honestly expecting more bittersweet vibes, and this is because people had pointed out the 2004 movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, featuring Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. I highly recommend this movie, by the way. And Hong Joong even had dyed his hair orange, much like Clementine. So I thought somehow they would be related more intrinsically, if that made sense. Because the movie is about going through a heartbreak and having the technology to actually erase someone completely from your mind. So sound-wise, again, it went perhaps in a more predictable direction than what I was expecting, though that in and of itself sounds like a contradiction. However, in terms of the relation to the movie, I can kind of maybe see it a little bit within the lyrics. Because it says, if you could keep one memory, which would it be? And within the movie, you actually get to see Jim Carrey's character go through each memory being erased. And as it's happening, he's realizing that he actually wants to remember everything, and he's begging and pleading within his mind as it's happening to be left with something. Please let me keep this memory, just this one. Movie reviews and potential cancellations aside, I think it's quite obvious why Deja Vu won. I do think it's the better option out of the two personally, though I also found both of the songs a little bit un-Ateez-like in nature. But I would love to know what you think of these songs, which ones you voted for. Again, I tried to vote, but when I made an account, like it wouldn't let me complete making the account, so I couldn't vote. But that's basically it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. You can also support this channel in different ways by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button and becoming a channel member, or even joining my Patreon. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It honestly means the world to me. As for me, I'm gonna get going, but I'll see you guys next time. Bye!